of the Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis. Book 3 of Interior Consolation. Chapter 13 of the Submission of One under Obedience, after the example of Jesus Christ. Son, he who strives to withdraw himself from obedience withdraws himself from grace, and he who seeks his own loses those things which are in common. If a man does not freely and willingly submit himself to his superior, it is a sign that his flesh is not as yet perfectly obedient to him, but that it oftentimes rebels and murmurs. Learn then to submit thyself readily to thy superior, if thou choosest to subdue thine own flesh. For the enemy without is sooner overcome, if the inner man be not laid waste. There is not a more troublesome or worse enemy to the soul than thou art to thyself, when not at peace with the Spirit. Thou must in good earnest take to thee a true contempt of thyself, if thou wishest to prevail over flesh and blood. Because thou hast as yet too inordinate a love for thyself, therefore art thou afraid to resign thyself wholly to the will of others. But what great matter is it, if thou, who art dust and nothing, submit thyself to man for the sake of God, when I, the Almighty and the Most High, who created all things out of nothing, for thy sake humbly subjected myself to man. I became the most humble and the lowest of all, that thou mightest overcome thy pride by my humility. Learn to obey, O dust. Learn to humble thyself, O earth and clay, and to bow thyself down beneath the feet of all. Learn to break thine own will, and to yield thyself up to all subjection. Be zealous against thyself, suffer not swelling pride to live in thee, but show thyself so submissive and so little that all may trample on thee and tread thee under their feet as the mire of the streets. What hast thou, vain man, to complain of? What answer canst thou make, O vile sinner, to those that reproach thee, thou who hast so often offended God, and many times deserved hell? But mine eye has spared thee, because thy soul was precious in my sight, that thou mightest know my love, and live on ever grateful for my favors, and that thou mightest give thyself continually to true subjection and humility, and bear with patience all that despise thee. And that concludes Chapter 13 of Book 3 of the Imitation of Christ.